What's going on, guys? Bank Rubber Games here, more Fallout 3, A Tale of Two Wastelands and the Into the Pit DLC. And last episode when we left off, we finished up in the steel yard and collected all the ingots. That means we have got a nice fancy new set of armour along with all the other rewards. So that does mean we are done with Everett here. Does also mean we've got a few new weapons to test out. We have got more than that in our inventory, but we're not too worried about that. So last episode was really cool. And I did walk through all the rewards, so I recommend going back and watching that if you haven't seen it. But that does mean we are done with the steel yard, and we can now return to Medea and sort of carry on with the main quest of the DLC.
That'll teach you to mess with me.
Now, if you remember on the way to the steel yard, there was this character here, Millie, and that we bumped into. She asked us to find Wild Bill in the steel yard. But considering we've got his sidearm on us, you can probably tell what sort of state we found him in. And that wasn't last episode, that was the episode before that. So now we can talk to her and tell her what we found.
Oh, that's wonderful. Where is he now? Did he come back with you?
So we do have a few options here, but I do think the best option is to tell the truth.
He's dead? But he promised us he would come back. I have to let the others know. Thank you for your help. Here, take these stim packs. They're all I have.
And I'll give you some stim packs, which might be needed after finishing the steel yard, or if you're sort of halfway through the steel yard, might be a good idea to come back and talk to Millie, and in that way you can get some aid items before heading back out to finish it, because it is potentially quite a tough area.
Good. Just in time. Asher has ordered everyone into the square. Rumor has it that he's going to open up the arena. That's perfect for us.
Kind of rude of Medea not to look at me when she's talking to me.
It's simple, really. From time to time, Asher opens up the arena. We call it the Hole. Any slave who wants to can fight against the gladiators. If you win, you get your freedom. More importantly, you get an audience with Asher. It's the only way a slave will ever get to talk to him directly. You fight, you win, and when you talk to Asher, you take the cure. Not exactly, no. Werner has a distraction planned. We haven't been making these weapons for nothing, you know. But when you're meeting with Asher, you'll be close enough to grab the cure. Get it and bring it to me. Now let's get out there and listen to Asher's speech. There'll be hell to pay if the guards catch us in here.
Citizens of the Pit, workers of downtown, traders of uptown, and all fierce souls who do what must be done, I bring you good news. We stand at the dawn of a new golden age, where others merely survive. We thrive! Our industry is the envy of the Commonwealth. Our safety is the envy of the capital waste. Our might is the envy of Ronto. And while I have led your efforts, it has been by your own strength that you have earned all the envy of the world. They envy the steel shaped by the workers in our mills. And they envy the strength of our traders and raiders who wield the steel for the pit. And most of all, they envy our victories in the struggle for freedom. Because yes, freedom is what we all work towards. Freedom from fear. Freedom from disease. Freedom to live as once we did before we were shackled by atomic fire. And so, To celebrate this struggle, I ask my loyal workers, who among you is prepared to fight for your freedom? Who among you will risk your life in the crucible to create a new life of freedom in Uptown? Who will take this rare chance to thrive?
Right here. We have one. This man here will fight in the hole. Come on, Asher. Will you send someone to the hole who actually stands a chance?
Very well, Medea. If that is the will of the workers, then this man shall be their champion. Sir, you carry not only the dream that workers can become free, but that we may all someday become truly free from the threats of our world. Prepare yourself, sir. And when you are ready to be forged anew, report to Phaedra in the steel mill. The rest of you are dismissed.
You head down to the hole. Talk to Phaedra. She sets up the fights.
So it's pretty cool. There's like this whole sort of gladiator type thing that goes on. I do find it kind of funny. I think they went for like some sort of audio effect with the speakers here, you know, with him, Asher, making his grand speech. And yeah, but it just, I don't know, it always sounds really weird to me. But we do need to go back into the mill. I think on the way there, if we're careful.
I got important news. Okay, so what's up? Werner's back. Where'd you hear that? From a trustworthy source. Medea confirmed it. Great, I'll spread the word. Careful who you tell. Asher's got spies everywhere looking for him. I'm not an idiot.
So there's these workers here. Obviously scheming something, talking about Werner, the guy that we went to start the DLC, and Medea, and that something's going on. Not quite sure why this person's whistling multiple times. Don't know if it's just scripted. When you move over a certain area, they whistle, alert the workers, so they sort of call off their meeting. Very subtle. It's always eerily quiet outside. I think it's because there's no ambient sort of music or any real sort of sound effects. And you come into the mill and it's absolute carnage. So down here is the hole.
So you're the dumbass scab that signed up to fight in the hole, huh? Well, head on down. Phaedra's waiting for you. And what are you doing down here, slave? Don't tell me your pale ass is gonna throw down. You don't sign up. You tell me you want to fight, I set up a fight. You die, and I repeat it with the next jackass slave who comes in here. Sound good? You want in? Come on, death's gotta be better than your life, am I right? Oh yeah? You sure you're ready to die? Well, all right. I've got one for you right away. Or you can take some time to put your affairs in order. It's up to you. We're gonna throw you in there with a bunch of the other scabs who think they've got what it takes. You're all gonna fight it out, and the last one standing gets to move on. Probably won't be you, though. If you're ready, just step on in.
It's kind of funny how they say we're not ready when we've got much better armor than them, along with, you know, like advanced weaponry, which is, yeah, a little bit ironic. Obviously, don't know who they're messing with.
We have for you a group of slaves willing to kill and slaughter for it to become one of we privileged few. They will fight, they will die, and all for you, all for your entertainment. Now, are they ready to die for their chance at freedom? Let's
So normally these barrels drop down, and that's why you get radiation.
Standing, only one. Oh, my friend, what a fantastic sight! How far will this slave go?
Don't worry about the radiation too much. I'm confused as to why the barrels didn't fall down.
Wow. Impressive, slave. Those were some of the toughest scabs around here. You've got some fight in you, it seems. But I wouldn't get too excited. I'm sure Asher's got something special planned for your next fight. Here's something for the rads. Enjoy it while you can. Come back when you're ready for your next fight.
So, that does get rid of all the radiation for you. Do go back down to 0, which is very handy with the limited resources we have in the DLC.
You again? Back for more, huh?
But you can go off maybe to get some more rewards in the steel yard by picking up ingots if you haven't done all of that. Or you can come back straight back to Phaedra and then select the next fight.
I wouldn't count on luck this time. You damn well better be ready. Asher says he wants to make this one good, so he gave you the Bear Brothers. They're a couple of mean bastards. Hell, rumor has it they're halfway to Trog as it is. But I'm sure you'll do fine. Just fine. Well, all right, that's what I like to hear. Get on in there.
I think we're going to be trying the perforator for this one. And I'll be able to show off why it's probably one of my favourite weapons. It's another weapon that does have a tendency for the sight on it to move with B42 scopes.
They're here to keep this worker in his place. The undefeated Bear Brothers. Let's find out if the newcomer can hold his own against real fighters. Release! Fight! The Bear Brothers are dead! Amazing! This newcomer is showing promise, my friend!
So there is a Deathclaw gauntlet here, and you can see it actually does a lot of damage, bearing in mind our unarmed skill isn't very high. 43 damage with 83 DPS, along with the ignore damage threshold and resistance and the bonus critical chance. Very, very powerful weapon, and you can get this by making it when you unlock the blueprint, and I don't think we've got the blueprint yet, but we will be collecting that at some point. And obviously the more copies of the blueprint you get, the better the weapon will be. So we did level up as well, which is quite handy. Not too worried about what skills we pick really. So you've got quite a lot of choice for perks we're going to be picking. But I think at the moment we're going to be picking the Professional, which is a very powerful perk, which allows our sneak attack criticals with basically any one-handed weapons, whether they're guns or energy weapons, to do 20% more damage, which is very, very powerful. And then this also goes really well along with if you do a build that focuses on critical hits and getting the most out of that. Your sneak attack criticals can do a lot of damage with this sort of setup. Then we're also going to be getting Vigilant Recycler, and this will allow us to get more efficient recycling recipes at the workbench. So if you notice, we've picked up a lot of sort of drained energy ammo, or I can't remember what the flamer version is called of it, but it's basically allows us to recycle this And you can buy the drained versions of ammo from vendors for no caps whatsoever, so it basically gives you free ammo, and if you wanted to you could sell the ammo in order to get some caps. So we're definitely going to pick that as well.
Not bad, Grinder, not bad. The Bear Brothers were some pretty mean sons of bitches. One more fight and you're free. But I wouldn't plan on making it through the next one. Here's a shot for the Rads. Come back when you're ready for your last fight.
So again, you get the option to go off and do whatever you want, or you can just talk straight back with Phaedra and go into the final fight.
You again? Back for more, huh? This'll be your last fight, Scab. One more and I don't get to call you that anymore. You ready? You're going up against Gruber. He's one of the only slaves to win in the hole. There's only ever been, what, 3? I guess he got a taste for blood. But unfortunately for you, he's got a pretty decent gun. So odds are this is the last time you and I will be talking. Well, all right, that's what I like to hear. Get on in there.
And now, this slave is proven willing to kill and die for his freedom. But how will he fare against the last man who made it all the way? Gruber. Undefeated in the hole, Gruber has yet to meet his match. Only one will walk out to their freedom. Only one will walk out alive. Release the barrels. Go!
And as you can see, he doesn't go down with too much trouble. He's not actually that tough. But then we have got the man opener, which does ignore his armor anyway, and you can see it also has an extremely high DPS.
And Gruber falls! Gruber falls! The champion is toppled! A new slave rises from the gutter to join us! Welcome him! He's earned it!
So rather handily, after completing sort of all the gladiator, the 3 gladiator fights we have in the Pitt DLC, we do get a new perk, and it is useful. You can see there, a little bit of damage and radiation resistance. Just quickly showing off that perk, being Pit Fighter, that we unlocked for completing all the challenges in the pit. And you can see there, it increases our damage and radiation resistance by 3%. So it's not the biggest difference, but it definitely can come in handy, and I won't say no to it. Then Gruber has the Gamma Shield armor, which is basically a unique set of metal armor. I'm not sure if we already had some. Nope. But then he also has the Infiltrator, which is exactly the same as the Perforator, but it does less damage, and but it fires much faster. Also doesn't look as cool. And in Tale of Two Wastelands, I'm pretty sure it's Tale of Two Wastelands, it is possible to find these sort of throughout out in the world. The sort of perforator that you get for collecting steel ingots is definitely like the unique version. This also isn't very accurate in comparison to sort of standard. It also isn't very accurate in comparison to the perforator. It's much better with mods that affect the gunplay and improve the way weapons work, but we're definitely going to be sticking with the perforator just because it does do more damage, and it does have that bonus critical damage and critical chance, whereas this one doesn't. And again, the accuracy is just a lot better for the perforator. It also happens to look really cool because of the mod that we're using, and again, that will be linked down in the description below.
Well now, aren't you quite the scrapper? Congratulations. You've done well. Asher wishes to see you. The guards will be told to allow you to pass. watches over the city from Haven. His tower in Uptown. Take the northeast exit from here, and look for the tallest building in town. Oh, Asher also said that he has a few gifts for you. You'll find them in a container behind me. Enjoy, and don't keep the man waiting.
So normally that guy comes out and talks to you once you leave
Asher's looking forward to meeting you.
the pit. I really don't know why this keeps sort of messing up. But in this container here, there is all the equipment that we walked into Pitt DLC with us. And it's one of the main reasons why you want to limit the amount of items you come into the pit with you, because there's going to be a lot more things we can pick up in the DLC, and we want to make sure we can walk out with all of it. Kind of fitting considering one of the other Fallout New Vegas DLCs and about letting go, something we have to look forward to in the future.
Memory once we
Going completely the wrong way. Here we do have this injured pit worker, and we do have an option to sort of help him, and we do also have the option to end his suffering, and you do need a medicine skill check, I think this is, but I'm not sure what the threshold is for passing it, so we're going to try and treat his injuries and see what happens.
off to talk with Asher.
Thanks for patching up that asshole. He's got at least another week before he drops dead from exhaustion.
So even with that, the guards aren't necessarily sympathetic.
Leave me alone.
It's a nice thing to say, someone that just saved your life.
Go on in if you go.
So you can travel down on the floor, but you can see there are all the radiation barrels down there, so you will pick up a lot of rads. So if you go up this way, it's quite cool the way it's all sort of set up. There are some characters you can talk to and a couple of vendors, but we're not going to worry about that for the time being.
Lord Asher wants a word with you. Good luck.
Definitely spend a lot of time sort of exploring the catwalks. So it is quite a cool sort of setup. Quite cool seeing a more sort of built up area. Is the DC ruins I don't think really sort of show off a destroyed sort of capital city would look like, or a big city would look like. I think the Pitt DLC does a much better job of it in some ways. But outside here we do have this kind of freaky statue. Obviously quite symbolic of the workers in the DLC. These guys are having a moment.
Hurry over to Haven, kid. Lord Asher will be right with you. Feel free to wait inside, champion.
I'm telling you, I've got it covered. I'll be with you right after I maintain some order and dispense a little justice.
And I suppose you'll follow that up by raising the dead.
No, but I may heal the infirm later in the week. Time permitting, of course.
Sir, we've had sightings of Werner back in the city, and there's been an increase in chatter between slaves.
Workers.
What?
We call them workers. Helps with morale. Reminds them that they might earn their freedom someday.
Whatever we call them, they've been gathering makeshift weapons.
All right, all right. Put your guards on alert. Tell them to be on the lookout for anyone loitering too long downtown. And keep a watch on Medea at all times. Anything big happens, it's bound to go through her. Now, I've got a very important meeting with our new friend. So if anything big comes up, you use the intercom.
Yes, sir.
Okay, break's over.
Hurry over to Haven, kid.
When Ash finishes the conversation, he does automatically. He is scripted to walk over to you. But looking at how long this episode is, I want to leave that conversation for next episode, because over the next couple of minutes we have quite a few different choices that affects the outcome of the DLC, and it's quite a lot to sort of stuff into the end of this episode. So even though this episode has been a little bit shorter, but I think it's been sort of exciting enough with the pit fighting, as easy as it was. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode and been enjoying the series so far. And like I said, next episode we're going to start off with having a conversation with Asher, and you can tell that everything might not be as it seems with his unusual attitude, shall we say, towards the workers in the pit and how he looks at them in comparison to the other raiders. So he might not be a typical raider, but we'll find out a little bit more about that next episode. So make sure you subscribe for that. Also, any mods that I've mentioned throughout the video will be linked down in the description below, so you can try them out for yourself. But other than that, thanks again for watching. I always appreciate having you guys here, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.